Nicholas Sparks said, "Nothing that's worthwhile is ever easy."
Markeen Hagerness.
Tage Menon.
Austin Esser.
Justin Baker.
And I'm Jared Brinkman.
So the question we focused on as a group is, should adolescents establish a romantic relationship while enrolled in high school?
And this raises the question, what is a romantic relationship? Well, romance is the feeling of excitement and mystery associated with love, and a relationship is the way that people are connected. So just like these hearts, a romantic relationship is the way that people are connected, associated with romance and love.
The choices. All high school adolescents experience a romantic feeling for a so-called friend. At this point, they have a variety of choices. They can choose to keep the friendship going. They can establish a superficial relationship while protecting themselves from the dangers of romance. They can dissolve the relationship entirely, or they can engage in that romantic experience.
What would you pick?
This question is very complex because it has a variety of different solutions that have a variety of different pros and cons. We're going to evaluate a couple of them today, but we as a group claim that adolescents should establish a romantic relationship because of the various job opportunities they gain, the communication skills they acquire, the physical, the stimulated health benefits, and a variety of other.
So today we are going to take you through a journey of what it would be like for the adolescent to choose romance and for what it would be like for the adolescent to choose friendship. Communication. As a relationship progresses, both confidants further develop their communication skills. To tell each other what we are thinking and what we are feeling. It enables us to make a connection. Sometimes we're the one speaking, and sometimes we're the one listening, as it shows here in this picture between two adolescents. Either way, the central tenet is communication for the sake of building the relationship and making it stronger. This was said by Jim Rohn, who has shared philosophies and principles to over 6,000 audiences and 5 million people. He's considered to be America's foremost business philosopher. In a romantic relationship, the adolescents learn how to advance their communication skills through more one-on-one time, resolving conflicts, self-identities, and job opportunities. With a growing sense of communication, the overall life of the adolescent is strengthened, and this sets him or her up for other experiences not necessarily related to romance.
So a good romantic relationship in high school helps you interact with your customers and bosses in the working world. This is different from a good friendship because you're more connected with the person's family and the more closer related and have more connections. As Jasmine Briggs stated, the most important aspects of building a relationship is being personal, remembering the fine details, and having the confidence to market yourself. These aspects can all come from a romantic relationship you obtain in high school. Having a romantic relationship in high school can help control your emotions, learn how to overcome obstacles, and be able to better communicate with others. This can translate to your job and the aspects of being able to effectively communicate with customers.
So, in longevity, dating in high school is a very beneficial thing for an adolescent to do because you're living the lessons and learning what you eventually need to get into a very healthy marriage. A study from Harvard, just for men, the research shows that men who are in a relationship tend to live longer because when you're not in a relationship, you're more likely to drink more, drive faster, and are more likely to get into fights because when you're not in a relationship, you tend to make choices only thinking about yourself, and then when you are in a relationship, you tend to think more, you make decisions based off yourself and the other person that you're with. And so the chart above would be a representation of a lifespan for a male who is not in a relationship because it's much shorter and there are less events on the timeline. And then the bottom one would be a representation of what it would be like to be in a relationship, and because it's longer and there's more events.
As things get more serious, a romantic relationship can immensely benefit your mental happiness. When you're engaged in a romantic relationship, your body releases an abundance of endorphins. Endorphins are chemicals that bestow feelings of lust, attachment, and happiness. They can help your body feel good and aid in recovery. producing very substantial effects on the mind-body, such as enhancing the immune system, relieving pain, reducing stress, and postponing the aging process.
Having a romantic relationship in high school will have many bumps along the way. But these obstacles will help you be able to grow as a person and learn how to treat people in the world, especially the working world. As you can see in this picture, there's many, like, at the beginning it's really rough, up and downs all along, and then the first fight you go all the way down, and then as you make up and then have more fights, you'll settle out into the settling period and come closer to the love line, which is this line right here. This will help you become stronger as a relationship and become stronger in not just romantic relationships, but relationships with your bosses, customers, your friends, and be able to learn how to overcome obstacles and how to treat others. According to Tracy Keenan, a master social worker, she noticed that almost all ninth graders in relationships that made more connections in high school had a higher percentage of obtaining a sustainable job. This is because in high school you learn how to build relationships and better communicate with everyone.
So we took you through the decision of choosing romance. Now we're going to go through the friendship route and see the positives and negatives of choosing a friendship. So to begin with, friendships, on the opposing side, friendships are more suitable for an individual's current circumstances. An adolescent has a mind that is still growing and maturing until the age of 25. With this growing mind, they don't need the added stress of a romantic relationship. While in adolescent's mind, the University of Rochester Medical Center in 2007 said that an adolescent's mind focuses, is rational thinking. I mean, his thinking is more focused on the amygdala, which deals with emotional thought, while an adult's mind focuses on the prefrontal cortex, which is more rational thinking. While an individual is at this young stage in life, they are making big time decisions. I mean, while they're in a romantic relationship, they're making big time decisions that shouldn't be based off emotional thought, but it should be more for when they're older and it's more rational thinking.
However, though, we see in a study done by Cal Berkeley University that people in a relationship actually have more happiness, reduced stress, and less loneliness compared to just a single person. And then in a 2010 unbiased study done by 4 researchers at Stanford University, they examined the relationship between pain relief, feelings of romantic love, and activation of reward systems in the brain. The study concluded that revealing pictures of a loved one distracted young adolescents from pain emitted in a heat block. Images of the brain were monitored while this process was going on, and an MRI confirmed that when looking at photos of their beloved partner, they experienced decreased pain activity in pain processing regions. So here we see on the MRI from the study, where it is yellow and red is where reward activation system is occurring, and where it is blue is where pain relief is occurring.
However, there can be physical repercussions of love. In high school, many engage in a romantic relationship, engage in physical intimacy. That this can eventually result in teen pregnancy, which will not only destroy the adolescent's life, but may eventually destroy a future baby's life. There are 3.43 births per 100 women aged 15 to 19 as of 2017. Not only does it lead to children, but the number of sexual relationships one has in high school is positively associated with eventual marriage divorce rates and the decrease in quality of education. Other physical repercussions include various types of abuse, such as sexual, physical, emotional abuse, STDs, and depression. No matter the physical limits during the relationship, 98% of romances end in breakup, which completely cripples those involved mentally and physically. This is a quote one would say while in breakup.
In fact, though, according to Conley and McIsaac in 2009, the number of years reporting a breakup increased with age. Half of 11 to 13-year-olds report experiencing a breakup. Almost all 20 to 25-year-olds have experienced one. Until you're broken, you do not know what you're made of. It gives you the ability to build yourself all over again, but stronger than ever.
Okay, overall, romance is the best choice because of the various positive effects, such as increased communication, the job outlook, the stimulants, the health stimulants, and the longevity of it. So overall, we claim that adolescents should establish a romantic relationship while enrolled in high school. Going back to the quote, nothing that's worthwhile is ever easy. Romance in high school may not be an easy choice. It may not be an easy decision or easy circumstance one is in, but in the end, it turns out to benefit you in your future, in your current conditions, just overall is a better option. So those of you with the option to be in a romantic relationship or as a son or daughter, with that choice, we urge you to allow yourself or your son or daughter to do that. Thank you.
Okay, couple questions. Keaton, we'll start with you. Keaton, give one specific way that your thinking changed as a result of learning about Jarrett's findings.
Well, so before the presentation, I was kind of against the whole dating thing, but then Jared, being the economic lens, ethical lens, he talked about the counter argument and like the downsides really of dating, which made me really realize the positive side of what it can bring. So learning from Jared's research, I really found out the positives of what a relationship could bring into my life.
Thank you. Tej, what is an example of a compelling argument from one of your peers' individual reports that you decided to exclude from your team presentation, and why?
So one argument that we decided to exclude was Dustin's in his individual report. He explains how in the relationship, the two companions are making contact through social media during class, and it's roughly half the total in the relationship. And this really takes away from the learning that they can be gaining and the academic side of things.
Thank you. Austin, what is a way in which your team's resolution makes you think differently about your own individual research?
Well, our resolution reinforces my own individual research for the overall conclusion, backs up my thinking on establishing a romantic relationship. Personally, I do not have a girlfriend, but with the team's resolution, it gives me a good reason to actually make an effort to go establish a romantic relationship.
Thanks. Dustin, having finished your project, what, if anything, do you consider to be a gap in your team's research that, if addressed, would make you feel more confident about your conclusion?
A gap that we have in our research was probably kind of basing off what Tej said, the social media part, and how it can affect the grades negatively and like hinder their learning and like relationships with other people because they're always on like social media.
Thanks. And last, Jarrett, in the future, what change would you make to your group norms, and how would you expect that to improve the team presentation?
The change I'd make to our group norms is at the beginning of our project, as we get together and establish our different norms, I would also have established a schedule of when we would meet, where we would meet, and how that would go down, because our group struggled with finding times where all of us could get together and where we could get together because we're all involved in other extracurricular activities, and so that's the change I would make to our group norms.
All right, thanks.